You are happily confusing myth and history, talking about Rama and Krishna walking the earth.
I didn't say earth, I said
whether this is history or myth. You can't confuse history and myth and wade into all of this. Let me say my piece.
You cannot come to that later. You have to look at it now.
No, I will choose to. I will choose to tackle it when I choose to tackle it.
No, I want to tackle it now.
A follower.
No. All right. You have asked me a question. Let me complete it.
I have not asked you a question.
You already asked.
Does not prevent me.
Have you seen one person who said, I am a God man?
Of course, you are saying that.
Only the goddamn journalists are doing this all the time. I think you need to little educate yourself about English language then.
I don't understand it, but please carry on.
Yes. I understand, a lot of things are not understood.
Yes. I must, in spite of the ovation, say that to be popular may not be always to be right. Romanticizing religion the way you have done goes against the grain of the facts on the ground. The fact of the matter is, religion, both in this country and elsewhere in the world, has been responsible for far more deaths than any other activity of human being has done.
Definitely. I'm not
The
disagreeing
fact
with that.
is…
No, you're not making the distinction between seeking and believing.
No, we'll come to that. Let me say my piece.
You cannot come to that later. You have to look at it now because…
I will choose to. I will choose to tackle it when I choose to tackle it.
I want to tackle it now.
A follower.
No.
Here as a debate.
All right.
Here in a conversation.
You have asked me a question. Let me complete it.
I have not asked you a question.
You already asked.
I have not asked you a question. I've said, I've made a statement that religion has been responsible for far more deaths than any other human activity. I'm also saying that you are happily confusing myth and history and talking about Rama and Krishna walking the earth. Now, it's inevitable whether this is history or myth. Shiva having a conversation with his wife and somebody having a conversation with somebody. You can't confuse history and myth and wade into all of this and run a logical argument. I know you are not for logic. At least you don't think logic is the end all of all discussion, at least from the book, which I respect that point of view. Science is not given. It is for science to discover the beginning of the cosmos and the end of the cosmos. Science is in the process of seeking, of becoming. Religion has become, unfortunately, a certitude, a terrible certitude, which is creating more division, more fraction, more, I think, dishonesty in life, all around us. And that's become even more so in the current age. That's what I started out by saying. We are in an age of godmen. We are in an age of so-called, new age gurus, market gurus. Branding is a subject. Look at all the branding of all the gurus that are going on. It's ridiculously ostentatious and market friendly. So I'm sorry, but I hope you don't get offended.
You are giving your opinion about everybody in the universe without knowing a thing about them.
Yeah, but that's not your monopoly. That is not your monopoly.
I'm not here to pass a judgment on you or anybody else.
No, because you said that about me. That I'm saying.
But you're saying these are market forces, these are godmen. Whoever in this country called himself a god man, only the goddamn journalists are doing this all the time.
Sure. I am not exempting my persona as a journalist. Does not prevent me.
Have you seen one person who said, I am a god man?
Of course, you are saying that. In your book, you are saying that.
What I am saying?
You are saying, I will do this, I have magic, I create all these things, I touched and created vibrations, I created power there. You are talking like a magician.
I think…
Towards the last pages of you, please reread your book.
I think you need to little educate yourself about English language then.
How did I make a mistake?
You're making up things.
Sorry?
See, please, you're making up things. If you do not understand the way the book is written, you will need 10 readings to get it.
No, I don't intend reading it more than once, but I have read it once.
If this is the conclusion you made, obviously you didn't get it.
No, towards the end of the book, you are talking about the need for more and more temples. You're talking about how you created vibrations in one temple in the US and made it, godly in that sense. You're not using But that's even more dangerous in my view. Somebody who calls himself a God man can be dismissed offhand.
Okay.
But while you raise very, very interesting discussions on the need for limits to logic, the need for limits to science, towards the end you're lapsing into total blind leap of faith. In the beginning of the book, you start by saying, don't take anything at face value. Question everything. Interrogate everything, Guruji. You say that at the beginning of the book. You say, don't take even what I'm saying at face value. Towards the end, you say, if you don't have a leap of faith, a leap of trust, I cannot guide you in the garden of wilderness. So, it is a book of self-contradiction in that sense.
All right. Can I have
Please,
a few minutes?
Please.
Let's understand this. When human beings were just walking on the ground, if a man, first man, came on a bicycle, most people wouldn't believe it.
Yes.
They would think it is something absurd or illogical or magical. It would take a lot of convincing before people who are stuck in their own logic understand there is a way to ride on two wheels. I'm not even talking about an airplane, I'm talking about a bicycle. So all those people who denied the bicycle, at that moment, they all thought they were logically correct, like you.
I don't understand it, but please carry on.
Yes, I understand, a lot of things are not understood.
Yes. Unless they're understood, they're not understood.
Because the way you're going at it, whatever this leap of faith business you're talking about, there is no question of faith here. We are talking about a dimension beyond your present level of perception and understanding. Any human being who thinks what I do not know cannot exist is wearing the crown of ignorance. The most fundamental aspect of human intelligence, if it has to flower, is to constantly be able to see things that you do not know, things that you do not perceive exist all the time. This has been the exploration of science, this has been the exploration of every spiritual being. If you do not understand the difference between crude logic which binds you down and a logic which evolves you into a different dimension of existence, that is what we're trying to change. That is what we're trying to touch people with, that they do not have to limit themselves to their present dimension of logic and intelligence. There is a way to transcend this, there is a way to touch other dimensions of life. You thinking anything that you don't understand cannot exist. You thinking anything that you don't understand cannot exist.
Well, now that you've told me what I'm thinking, let me say what I think. What I think is not exactly what you're saying I'm thinking.
No, from what you said, otherwise I'm not delving into
There's
your
an
mind.
understanding problem there as well. Let me explain what I meant. What I think many people here also know what I meant.
In Hinduism, there is a famous story called the Ramayana about Lord Rama and Goddess Sita. This story is very important to people who follow the Hindu religion, even though many people know the main parts of the story. There are some interesting facts that not many people know. Today, we will learn about mysterious facts about Ramayana. Gayatri Mantra is formed from the first letter that comes after every 1,000 verses of Ramayana. The Gayatri Mantra is a special set of words that people say to feel calm and peaceful. It is made up of 24 letters, just like the Valmiki Ramayana, which is very long and important story. For every 1,000 verses of the Ramayana, a special letter is used to make a Gayatri Mantra. This mantra is like a special message for the Ramayana. It was first mentioned a long time ago in another sacred book called the Rig Veda. Besides Rama and his brothers, King Dasharatha was also the father of a daughter. Most people know about Sri Rama's mom and dad and his brothers, but not many people know about the sister Sri Rama had, named Shanta. The girl was older than her 4 brothers. Her mother's name was Kaushalya. People believe that a long time ago, a king named Angadesha and his queen Varshini visited a place called Ayodhya, but they don't have a kids. When King Dasharatha found out about it, he said he would give his daughter Shanta to Angadesha and Varshini. When Angadesha and Varshini heard this, they were very happy. They took care of Shanta with lots of love and did everything that parents would do. Rama is an avatar of Vishnu, but do you know similar facts about his brothers? Rama is like a special form of a god Vishnu. But did you know that his brothers are also special forms of things that Vishnu carries? Rama's brother Lakshmana is like a special form of a snake called Sheshanaga. His other brothers Bharata and Shatrughna are like a special forms of a spinning disc called Sudarshana Chakra and a shell called a conch shell. These are things that Vishnu uses. Name of Lord Shiva's bow used in Swayamvar of Sita. One day, there was a big event called a Swayamvar, where many princes came to try and marry a princess named Sita. To win, they had to do a difficult task using a special bow. This bow was very important and was called Pinak because it belonged to a powerful god named Lord Shiva. Gudakesha is another name of Lakshmana. During the 14 years when Lakshmana had to leave his home, he stayed awake all the time to keep his brother and sister-in-law safe. Because of this, he is also called Gudakesha. One night, when Rama and Sita were away from their home, Lakshmana asked a special goddess named Nidra Devi to never let him fall asleep. But Nidra Devi wanted to know if someone else could sleep instead of Lakshman. Lakshman suggested that his wife Urmila could sleep instead, and Urmila agreed happily when Nidra Devi asked her about it. Name of the forest where Rama, Lakshmana and Sita stayed during exile. Rama, Lakshmana, Sita lived in a forest called Dantakaranya. This forest was very big and covered parts of different states in India. It was known for having scary demons. That's why it was called Dantakaranya, which means punishment forest. The story of Laxman Rekha is not mentioned in the Valmiki Ramayana. One of the most interesting parts of the Ramayana is when Lakshmana draws a line around his house in the forest. The part of the story is not in the original version written by Valmiki. Ravana was an excellent veena player. Ravana was a very powerful demon king. People were scared of him when he was a kid because he had 10 heads. Ravana believed in Lord Shiva. He was also a really smart and studied ancient books called Vedas. But here is something interesting. Ravana was a good at playing a musical instrument called the veena. That's why there was a picture of the veena on his flag. Even though Ravana did not focus on music a lot, he still enjoyed playing the veena. Kumbhakarna gets the blessing of sleep because Indra was jealous of him. Kumbhakarna was a Ravana's little brother, and he was a really big and loved to eat a lot. In the story, it says that Kumbhakarna would sleep for 6 whole months without waking up. But one day, he would wake up just to eat and then go back to sleep for another 6 months. Can you guess why Kumbhakarna was like this? Once upon a time, there was a man named Indra who did a special ritual called yajna. After he finished that ritual, a powerful god named Brahma came to see him. Brahma said that he could grant Indra one wish. Indra was scared that Brahma might take away his important job, so he asked Saraswati for help. Saraswati sat on another person's tongue named Kumbhakarna. When Kumbhakarna tried to say Indra's position, he accidentally said sleep instead. According to NASA, the story of Ramayana and Adam's bridge are related to each other. Long ago, there was a story called Ramayana. In the story, Rama and Lakshmana needed to defeat a bad king called Ravana, who lived in a faraway place called Sri Lanka. Rama and Lakshmana had some special friends who were monkeys, and together they worked hard to build a bridge that would help them get to Lanka. They had to be very clever and brave to defeat Ravana. People believe that this story is very old, around 17,500 years old. And guess what? NASA, a smart group of scientists, recently found a bridge that was made by a people a long time ago, just like the one in the Ramayana story. The bridge connects to Sri Lanka and India. And it's amazing to think that something from such a long time ago is still there for us to see. Ravana knew that he would be killed by Rama. When Ravana's brothers found out that a guy named Rama was coming to fight them because Ravana kidnapped his wife Sita, they told Ravana to give up and surrender. But Ravana did not want to give up. He wanted to die fighting Rama because he thought that would make him go to a special place in the afterlife. Why did Rama punish Lakshman? In the story of Ramayana, it is said that Sri Rama punished his younger brother Lakshman by giving him a death penalty. But do you know why Lord Rama did that? This story is about when Rama came back to Ayodhya after winning a battle in Lanka and becoming a king. One day, Yama, the god of death, came to talk to Sri Ram about something important. Before they started talking, Yama asked Sri Rama to promise that nobody would interrupt their conversation. He said that if someone did interrupt, they would have to be punished with death. So Sri Rama appointed Lakshmana to be the guard and make sure nobody disturbed them while they were talking. Lakshmana is like the person in charge of the gate. One day, a wise man named Durvasa came to visit and asked Lakshmana to tell Rama that he was there. But Lakshmana politely said no. After this, a wise man named Rishi Durvasa became very mad at him. He said he would put a spell on the whole city of Ayodhya. To protect Ayodhya, Lakshman decided to offer himself. He went inside to tell Lord Rama that he was coming. Sri Rama was in a difficult situation because he had promised to give a punishment of death to Lakshman. He did not want to do it, so he asked his teacher Vasishtha for help and guidance to find another solution. Guru Vasishtha, if you tell Lakshman to leave, it's like giving him a punishment as serious as death. Lakshman heard this and said he could not be separated from his brother forever. So Lakshmana decided to follow his brother's command and accept death. Then Lakshmana entered the water and peacefully left this world. Rama had abandoned earth by sinking into the river Saryu. Rama decided to leave earth by going into the river Saryu. People think that after Sita died and become a part of the ground, Rama also left the earth by going underwater in the river. On this January 22nd, let us all welcome Rama back to Ayodhya by lighting a lamp and celebrate a Deepavali at your home. Write your valuable opinions about the video in the comment box, like the video, share it with your friends and family, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Thanks for watching. Pranam.